everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's nice to see you again. So how are you? How did you celebrate the All Saints Day? I see. Okay. For this video, we will have already our fourth lesson for the first quarter. Be reminded that the first quarter has 7 lessons. So we are almost done with the first quarter. I hope that somehow my videos are helping you to understand better the lessons that you have in your modules. Please bear with me if I speak in English. Well, you have no choice because this subject is English. Okay? Now, are you ready for our fourth lesson? Well then, begin. Alright, let us begin our fourth lesson for English 8 in the first quarter. So still, you can see it in my screen, still we are using learning activity sheets. Let's begin. For this week's lesson, our learning competency is to use nouns and adverbs appropriately. Okay? So our keywords here are nouns and adverbs. I am pretty sure that these two words do not sound new to you, since surely you have discussed this or you have encountered this during your elementary English days. Now, just a sort of review. Nouns and adverbs are parts of what they call 8 parts of speech. What are these 8 parts of speech? We have noun, adverb, verb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, pronoun, interjection. So you may pause this video to recall what these 8 parts of speech are. But basically, our focus for this in this video will lie on noun and adverb. So a sort of review. Noun names a person, place, things, or idea. Examples are dog, cats, house, Pedro, and so on. On the other hand, when we say adverb, it tells how often, how, when, where. It can describe a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Examples are loudly, always, never, late, soon, and others. Okay? Again, if you wish to review the 8 parts of speech, you may pause this video. Alright. So it says here, one of the basic concepts that everyone must know and understand in learning English is the proper usage of the 8 parts of speech, definitely. These 8 parts of speech are actually the words we use in communicating and writing sentences and speaking sentences. So basically, we have to know how they must be used correctly in order for us to use our language correctly as well. Especially nouns and adverbs. Knowing these may assist you in joining words and sentences or paragraphs that are grammatically correct and understandable. This in turn may help you coming up with effective output. Okay? Again, when we say noun, it's a word that names a person. It could be a person, aunt, uncle, Pedro, Bebang, and so on. It could be places, Balagpi, San Sebastian, Manila, Makati, things, pencil, notebook, or ideas, love, patience, hope. These are all nouns, okay? They may be used in sentence in different ways. What are these different ways? Okay, this will be the focus of our lesson for today. Now, nouns actually can be used in 7 different ways. Okay, let's talk about it one by one. Nouns may be used as the subject. Remember, subject is the person or the thing that performs the action of the verb. It's the one being talked about in the sentence. And usually it's found at the first part of the sentence. Example, Rodrigo Roa Duterte is the 16th President of the Philippines. So we're talking about President Duterte. So he is our subject. Noun as a subject. Second, aside from subject, nouns can be direct objects. So direct objects are the ones receiving the action in the sentence. Okay? Example, John made a Google form for the webinar. Okay? John is the one being talked about. John is the subject. What is John doing? John made what? Okay, it answers the question what. That is for. So when we say direct object, it answers the question what or who. Okay? So that is direct object. And in terms of the position in the sentence, it's normally found after the verb. Directly after the verb. Okay? Subject, the verb, and then the object. Okay? The third one is indirect object. What is indirect object? It says here, when we say indirect object, okay, let me just... It reveals for whom or for what the action was undertaken. A while ago, direct object is who or what. Now it's for whom. In Filipino, para kanino, para saan. That is indirect object. Kindly just check your module, there's something wrong with it. The given example was, Elsie bought halo-halo for his mother. This is actually wrong. Okay? This is actually an example of the next function, number 4. So, I am erasing 4. This one is wrong. Then just transfer his mother after bought. Okay? Elsie is the subject. What is Elsie doing? He bought what? The direct object is halo-halo. He bought halo-halo. What? Now, for whom is the halo-halo? It's for his mother. So you would say, Elsie bought his mother halo-halo. Okay? Elsie bought for whom? His mother. What? Halo-halo. So that is the indirect object. And considering the sentence pattern you learned in the elementary days, we have STV, IODO. So it cannot be placed after the DO because we don't have a sentence pattern STV, DOIO. So that is wrong. So this is the right arrangement. Number 4, this one is the easiest. Okay. The next function of noun is to be object of the preposition. So what is this object of the preposition? When we say object of the preposition, it only means the noun comes after a preposition. So you just have to remember all prepositions. Recall what were the prepositions you learned in the elementary English you've had before. Okay, one good example is, Lucas goes to San Sebastian Cathedral Parish every Sunday. Lucas is the one being talked about. Lucas what? Goes and then to San Sebastian Cathedral Parish. San Sebastian Cathedral Parish is a noun. It's a name of a church. It's a proper nominal noun, naming a church. Now, it comes after to. The word to is a preposition. So that makes it object of the preposition. Just like this one. For his mother. Mother comes after for. For is a preposition. So this one is an object of a preposition. So that is why I said number 3 example is wrong. Get it? Number 5. Noun may be used as a positive. So a positive is a noun or a noun phrase preceded by another noun. So there are 2 nouns coming together, and the function of a positive is to identify or give more information about the first noun. Example, Leonor Magtoles Briones, the Secretary of DepEd, has announced that our class opening will be moved on October 5, 2010. So we have 2 nouns here, Leonor Magtoles Briones and Secretary of DepEd. So we have Leonor Briones Magtoles, and then the appositive is Secretary of DepEd. You get it? So it identifies or it gives more information about Mrs. Briones. Number 6, noun may be used as complement. Okay, complement means it describes. Okay, it describes or renames a particular noun following a linking verb. So if you can recall the subject linking verb complement format, this will help you understand this particular example. So linking verbs are is, am, was, were, are, and other verbs of the senses. Okay? If the noun comes after them, then we call it subject complement. Example, my father is the subject, and then we have the linking verb, and then frontliner. So frontliner here is a subject complement. So it's SLVC. Okay? Next is number 7. Aside from subject complement, it may also be a complement for the object. So you know object. Object comes after the main verb. So example, Christina painted her room. Christina is the subject, painted is the verb. Painted what? The direct object is room. And then her room is what? It's color pink. So pink complements the room. So it's object complement. You get it? Normally this is S, TV, DO, OC pattern. So if you can recall your sentence patterns in elementary, you will find this lesson easy to understand. Now the problem is if you forgot already your lesson about sentence patterns, then you have to bear with my lesson. Just listen attentively, watch it over and over again. Now let's move forward to adverb. Noun is a name of a person. On the other hand, adverb modifies. When we say modifies, it describes. It tells something. So it tells something a verb, which is an action word. It tells something an adjective, which is used to describe nouns. And it tells something about also adverbs. So it can modify a verb, adverb, or another adverb. These are the words that tell how, where, when, or to what degree. Okay? So it answers the question how, where, when. You get it? But these questions are meant for verb, adjective, and adverbs. Because if you answer the question where for noun, that's a noun, that's not an adverb. Okay? Now there are 5 common types of adverbs. Let's talk about each of them. First one is adverb of manner. So manner, it answers the question how. How was the action done? Okay? Normally, adverbs of manner end in letters ly. Okay? And they may be placed before the verb and when there are other verb modifiers in the sentence. Okay? Example, Maria went home immediately when her dad called her. Okay. Maria is the subject. What did she do? She went home. Okay? The action is going home. Went home. How did he go home? Immediately. So it answers the question how. Number 2, adverbs of place. These tell where. These tell where. These are usually placed after the verb and after the object. Brian went inside his room. So Brian is the subject. Verb is went. Went where? Okay? So it's an adverb of place, inside his room. It's an adverbial phrase actually. Number 3, adverb of time. So definitely when we say time, it answers the question when. So it tells when. These are regularly placed after the verb and after the object. Sheila visits her grandmother when? Weekly. Okay? That is adverb of time. Adverbs of degree. So degree, we're talking about what degree or to what extent. So in Tagalog, gaano kadalas or gaano. Okay? These are usually placed before the word they modify. Dennis is the subject. Dennis was late in his webinar. Dennis was late. To what extent? To what degree? Almost late. He was almost late. Not really late, just almost late. Maybe if the time is 7 a.m., maybe he arrived at if the time is 10 a.m., he arrived at 9:59 a.m. So almost late. Sentence adverbs. Okay. So aside from modifying words, adverbs can also modify the entire subject. Example, luckily, the examination was moved next week. So our sentence is, the examination was moved next week. And it is being modified by luckily. Okay? Again, adverbs usually end in ly. Usually. But there are other adverbs which do not end in ly. Alright. Now let us see if you understood it. Let's try to answer your activities. Okay, we have two tests. Test 1 is for nouns, test 2 is for adverbs. Let's first take test 1. Test 1 about nouns. Identify the function of the word noun in each sentence by choosing the correct answer from the choices in the box below. So these are our choices. These are the functions of a noun in a sentence. So we are to read the sentence in each number and then identify the underlined noun, whether it's a subject, direct object, or whatever. Number 1, Stephanie watches Korean drama every night. Stephanie is being talked about. Stephanie is in the beginning of the sentence, at the beginning of the sentence. So certainly, Stephanie is the subject. Okay? So you continue the others. And then, if in case you forgot my discussion, you can repeat this video. Letter B, write a sentence using following nouns based on the function. So these are the nouns, these are the functions. So you have to write sentence. As subject, Santo Cristo Integrated School is a famous school in Tarlac. So, as a subject. Okay? Letter C. We are indeed in a difficult situation today, definitely, wherein a lot of people are affected by COVID-19. A lot of things have changed since we can hardly go back to the normal life we had before. We cannot even go out of our houses as easily as before. That's true. Because there are policies that we need to obey. So most of our time is spent at home with our family. That's good. With this, what are your realizations? What have you realized? What are your learnings? What have you realized about this time of pandemic? Write 5-sentence paragraphs, so 5 sentences about using nouns appropriately. Okay? Then encircle them. So you answer, what have you learned? So you will write what have you learned here. And based on your answer, encircle the nouns you used. 5 nouns. You get it? Okay. Now let's move to adverbs. For adverbs, complete the sentence, the following sentences by choosing the appropriate adverb inside the parentheses. Write your answers on the blank. Write your answers on the blank. Okay. Tracy, it's my name. Tracy is a good daughter. She, blank, listens to her parents, always or never. Which one is appropriate for a good daughter? So it's always. She always listens to her parents. So this one is, it's more of a degree, adverb of degree. How does she listens? Always listens. Or it could also be about time. She always listens. When does she listen? Okay, either way. Letter B, use each of the following adverbs in a sentence appropriately. Okay, write your own sentence. Carefully. Sir Steve drives carefully. Okay. So how do I drive? Carefully. And letter C, think of one of the happiest moments in your life. Happiest moments. Write again a 5-sentence paragraph, 5 sentences here on the spaces provided about it using different adverbs appropriate. A while ago, you wrote 5 sentences using nouns. Now you will write sentences and then encircle the adverbs this time. And it must be about your happiest moments in life. Here are the criteria. So you will be graded content, correct usage of adverbs, and organization. Okay, reflection. What have you learned? Put a check mark in the box which corresponds to how well you learned. Strongly agree, moderately agree, or disagree. I learned how to distinguish the different functions of noun. Must be strongly agree. And then, answer the following. Okay? There you have it. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope you have learned something from my lesson. In case you did not understand it clearly, you may repeat my video. And hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye. Take care.